Have you ever felt like you are a ghost in your own life? Think about it. You are the one who always picks up the phone. You are the one who says, yes, a favor at 10 p.m. You are the reliable one at work, the nice one in the family, and the loyal friend who is always there. You do everything right. You give your time, your energy, and your heart. But let me ask you a question that might hurt. Does anyone actually respect you? Or do they just find you convenient? There is a big difference between being loved and being useful. A hammer is useful, a light bulb is useful, a doormat is useful, but no one respects a doormat. They just wipe their feet on it and walk inside. If you are between the ages of 30 and 50, and you feel like you are working ever but people value you less than ever, you are paying a tax. It is an invisible tax, and you are paying it with your life. Niccolò Machiavelli, a man who understood the dark corners of human nature better than anyone, once noticed something strange about power. He saw that the people who were the most available were always the first to be stepped on. He realized that human beings do not actually value things that are easy to get. We are wired to ignore what is always there. Think about the air you breathe. It is the most important thing in the world. Without it, you die in minutes. But do you thank the air? Do you value it? No, you don't even think about it because it is everywhere. It is free, it is too available. Now, think about a diamond. It is just a rock. You cannot eat it. You cannot breathe it. It has no real use for your survival. But people will kill for it. They will spend years of their lives to buy one. Why? Because it is rare. Because it is hard to find. Because it is most of you are living your lives like air. You are everywhere. You are free. You are always available. And that is why your value is zero. In this video, we are not going to talk about being nice. We are not going to talk about social skills. We are going to talk about the ghost strategy. This is about a deep psychological shift. I am going to show you why disappearing is the only way to be seen. I am going to teach you that your presence is a currency, and right now, you are throwing your money into trash if you are ready to stop being convenient and start being powerful. Stay with me. Because by the end of this journey, you will never look at a yes the same way again. Drop this in the comments before we move forward. My time is not free. Why is it that the people closest to you often treat you with the least amount of respect? It is a painful realization. You might be a genius at your office, a leader in your community, or a hero to a stranger. But when you walk through your front door, or when you sit with friends you've known for 20 years, you feel invisible. Psychology has a name for this: habituation. Your brain is designed to ignore information. If you live near a train station, after a week, you stop hearing the trains. If you wear a watch every day, you eventually stop feeling it on your wrist. The human mind only pays attention to change and contrast. When you are always available, it is 100% predictable. You become background noise. You are the train that passes every hour. You are the watch that is always on the wrist. People don't respect background noise, they tune it out. Niccolò Machiavelli wrote extensively about this in his Observations of Power. He noted that the most successful rulers were those who kept a distance between themselves and the public. He believed that if a prince is seen eating, sleeping, and walking in the streets every day like a common man, the people will eventually lose their awe. They will see his flaws. They will see his humanity. And once they see his humanity, they will no longer fear. Ordinarity breeds contempt. This is especially dangerous for those of you in the 30 to 50 age bracket. You have spent years building a reputation for being steady. But steady often translates to boring in the subconscious of others. By being so reliable, you have removed the element of surprise from your personality. Think about the most high-value people in the world. Do you know what they are doing every hour of the day? No. Do they reply to every comment or invite? No, their life is a closed book, and because the book is closed, everyone wants to know what is written inside. When you are a mystery, people have to use their imagination to fill in the blanks. And the human imagination is a powerful tool. It usually imagines you as more successful, more busy, and more important than you might actually be. But the moment you over-explain, the moment you stay too late at the party, the moment you justify your actions to everyone, you kill that imagination. You kill the mystery. You must understand that presence is like a spotlight. If the light is on all the time, the bulb eventually burns out and no one notices. But if the room is dark, and the light flickers only for a moment, everyone in the room stops and looks. To regain your value, you must stop being the light that is always on. You must learn the power of the dark. You must learn that being gone is a more powerful political move than being present. Power is not about how much you can, about how much you are worth. In economics, when the supply of a product is high, the price drops. When the supply is low, the price skyrockets. Your life works exactly the same way. Every time you show up, every time you talk, and every time you agree to a request, you are increasing the supply of yourself, and in doing so, you are crashing your own market value. You need to start looking at your presence as a limited currency. You only have a certain amount of coins to spend each day. Are you spending them on people who don't even say thank you? Are you spending them on meetings that could have been an email? To reclaim your power, you must follow the 3 of the currency of absence. Lloyd, the power of the no. For many people over 30 now, feels like a dirty word. You feel guilty. You feel like you are being mean. Is actually a filter. When you say yes to everything, your yes means nothing. It has no weight. But when you start saying no, people suddenly realize that your yes is a rare and valuable gift. They start working harder to earn it. A no protects your time. A yes gives it away. Lloyd, the master exit. Most people make the mistake of staying until the very end. They stay at the office until the lights go out. They stay at the party until the host is yawning. This is a mistake. When you stay until the end, you are remembered as the leftovers. The master of power leaves when things are at their peak. Leave the conversation while everyone is laughing. Leave the meeting as soon as your part is done. This creates a psychological cliffhanger. When you leave early, people keep talking about after you are gone. They wonder where you went and what you are doing. You become a ghost that haunts their thoughts. Law Havi's selective secrecy. In the modern world, we are told to be authentic and share our journey. This is terrible advice for someone seeking authority. If everyone knows your struggles, your plans, and your breakfast, they have nothing to discover about you. Familiarity kills respect, but secrecy builds it. Stop oversharing. If someone asks what you are doing this weekend, don't give a full schedule. Just say, I have some things to take care of. This simple sentence creates a wall. It tells the other person that there are parts of your life they do not own. It forces them to respect your boundaries. Remember, you cannot be a king if you are always acting like a servant. A servant is always available. A king is only seen when it truly matters. It is time for you to stop being the one who waits and start being the one who is waited for. To understand the power of absence, we must look at how it changes the chemistry of a room. Let's look at 2 stories that reflect the lives of most people listening to this right now. The story of the indispensable employee, a man named David. David is 42 years old. He is the first person in the office and the last to leave. If a printer breaks, David fixes it. If a client is angry, David calms them down. He is the glue that holds the team together. He thinks this makes him powerful. He thinks he is a hero. But when promotion time comes, David is ignored. Why? Because the management can imagine the office without David in his current seat. He is too useful where he is. He has become like the office compim. But no one notices him until there is a stain. Now, imagine David decides to use the ghost strategy. He stops fixing the small late to do other people's work. He takes his full vacation days without checking his email once. Suddenly, the glue is gone. The printer stays broken. The office starts to crumble. For the first time in 10 years, the management doesn't just see David's work. They see his absence. They realize that David wasn't just an employee, he was a pillar. By disappearing, David did more for his career than he ever did by working 80 hours a week. He forced them to feel the cost in him. The social enigma now, look at your social life. Think about that one friend who is at every single gathering. They are loud, they tell all the jokes, and they stay until 2 p.m. every time. People like this person, but they don't respect them. They are part of the furniture. Now, think about the person who only shows up once every few months. When they walk into the room, the energy changes. Everyone stops talking. Everyone wants to sit near them. Why? Because their presence is a limited edition. This person doesn't stay for 5 hours. They stay for 45 minutes. They give a few high-quality insights. They listen more than they speak. And then, just when the night is getting good, they leave. They don't give a long explanation. They just say, "It was great seeing you all. I have to go." What happens after they leave? For next hour, the group talks about them. Where did they go? What are they working on? They seem different, don't they? By being a ghost, you control the narrative. You become the main character because you are the only one the audience can't fully grasp. In your 30s and 40s, you don't need more friends. You need more authority. And authority is built in the spaces where you are not present. Stop trying to be the life of the party. Be the mystery that the party is talking about. Stop being the fixer at work. Be the specialist who is only called when the situation is critical. If you are always under their feet, they will never look up to you. You must move to a place where they have to turn their heads to find you. The hardest part of the ghost strategy isn't staying away from others. It is staying away from the guilt inside your own head. When you have spent 20 years being the reliable one, the provider, or the fixer, your identity becomes wrapped up in being needed. You feel that if you aren't helping, you aren't valuable. You fear that if you say no, or if you disappear for a weekend, people will realize they don't need you, and then they will forget you. But you must face this uncomfortable truth. If your value is based only on what you do for people, you don't have a relationship with them. You have a contract, and contracts can be cancelled at any time. The ghost strategy is about moving from a contract to character. Self-mastery first. To be invisible to others, you must first become visible to yourself. Most people are always available because they are afraid to be alone with their own thoughts. They fill their schedule with other people's problems so they don't have to face their own. Machiavelli understood that true power comes from self-reliance. A leader who depends on the praise of the crowd is a slave to the crowd. When you step back, when you turn off the phone and stop answering every urgent request, you are not being lazy. You are conducting a power audit. You are finding out who stays by your side when the favors stop flowing. You are discovering who respects your time and who simply wants to consume it. This is not about being arrogant or mean, it is about boundaries. The difference between arrogance and scarcity: many people fear that if they use the law of scarcity, they will look like a ghost. But there is a massive difference. An arrogant person says, I am better than you. A scarce person says, my time is valuable to me. You don't need to be rude. You can be the kindest person in the room, but only for a short time. Your kindness should be like a rare rain in the desert. People should celebrate when it happens, not expect it like a leaky faucet that never stops dripping. The value of your empty time. When you disappear, what are you doing? This is the secret of the elite. You aren't just sitting in the dark. You are using that absence to build yourself. While others are gossiping at the water cooler, you are reading. While others are at a party they don't even like, you are working on your health, your finances, or your mind. Your absence is not a void, it is a workshop. The goal of being a ghost is to return to the world as a better version of yourself. When you eventually reappear after a period of absence, people should see a change, a new and a sharper focus. This makes your return an event. You must protect your peace like a soldier protects a fortress. Because if you do not value your own time, why should anyone else? If you give yourself away for free, do not be surprised when people treat you as if you are worthless. Reclaim your silence. Reclaim your privacy. Because power is not built in the noise of the crowd. It is built in the quiet of the shadow. You now understand the theory. You know that familiarity kills respect and that absence creates value. But knowledge without action is just a daydream. To change how the world sees you, you must change how you inhabit the world. I want to challenge you to a 30-day presence diet. This is not about disappearing forever. It is about retraining the people around you to respect your boundaries. We will break this down into 4 strategic weeks. Week 1. Silence the noise. The first step is to stop the leakage of your presence. In your 30s and 40s, social media and instant messaging are the biggest killers of mystery. The rule: stop posting your daylication. Most importantly, stop replying to non-urgent messages instantly. The result: when you stop being, people stop seeing you as a servant. They begin to realize that reaching you is a privilege, not a right. Week 2A. The selective ghost this week is about the word no. Look at your calendar. How many of those meetings, dinners, or favors are you attending out of guilt? The rule: say no to at least 3 things you would normally say yes to. Don't give a long, emotional explanation. Just say, I can't make it this time, I have other priorities. The result: you will feel a surge of power. You are reclaiming your coins. You will also see who gets angry. Those are the people who are using you. Those who respect you will simply wait for your next yes. Week 3. The master exit. Now, we practice the art of leaving. The rule: at every social or professional gathering this week, be the first to leave. Not because you are bored, but because you are in control. Leave while the energy is high. The result: you will notice a shift in the atmosphere. People will try to pull you back. They will ask, why are you leaving so soon? This is exactly where you want them. You are leaving them hungry for more. Week 40. The master return. After 3 weeks of being scarce, you finally reappear for something that truly matters. The rule: choose one event or meeting where your contribution will be maximum. Show up fully prepared, look your best, and speak with absolute clarity. The result: because you have been a ghost for 3 weeks, your return will be an event. Every word you say will have 10 times the weight it had a month ago. People will listen because they haven't heard from you in a while. This 30-day diet is for your social value. It breaks the habit of people taking you for granted. It forces the world to re-evaluate who you are. By the end of this month, you won't just have more time, you will have more gravity. You will be the person people think twice before bothering with a small favor. You will be the person whose presence is a gift, and whose absence is a problem. Are you brave enough to be forgotten for a week, so you can be remembered for a lifetime? Look at your hands. Look at the life you have built. For years, you were told that being good meant being available. You were told that to be loved, you had to be a servant to everyone else's needs. But look at the mirror. Has that strategy worked? Are you more respected, or are you just more tired? The ultimate truth is this: people do not love what they possess, they love what they might lose. By being the man who is always there, you have robbed the people in your life of the opportunity to miss you. You have robbed them of the chance to appreciate the vacuum you leave behind when you are gone. As you enter this new phase of your life, this enigma phase, remember that power is not about shouting the loudest. It is about the silence that follows when you leave the room. Niccolò Machiavelli once said that it is better to be a mystery than a puppet. A puppet is visible, predictable, and controlled by strings. A mystery is invisible, unpredictable, and controlled by no one. You were not born to be a background character in other people's stories. You were born to be the architect of your own, and an architect does not spend explaining the blueprints to every passerby. He builds in silence. From today, let your absence do the talking. Let your now be your shield, and let your presence be a rare that must be earned. You are no longer a doormat. You are a ghost. And ghosts are the only things that truly haunt the minds of men. Go now, disappear, and watch how the world finally begins to see you.